Hey, welcome back to the Confidad podcast. My name is Dan Tinquist, your host. So glad you chose to join us today. Let's begin today, like we do each episode, with our fatherhood mindset. I'm the only one who can fulfill the father role I have, so I choose to do it well. I get to show up well for my kids. Imperfection is reality. Ownership is a choice. Today is brand new, so is tomorrow. I am wholly loved, so I will love wholly. Today in our equipping section, I want to give us a glimpse into a reality that we're living in that is a little bit like a fish in water, right? There's a saying that says the last thing a fish notices is the water because it's just surrounded by it, right? It's swimming in it, has no idea. And I think there's many things in our world that we are swimming in, we're unaware of. But the thing I want to talk about today is this myth around social media and screens and phones. Maybe you're even listening to this podcast on a phone or watching it on YouTube on a phone. And these tools are such a powerful thing in our lives. These tools have the power to create goodness and also destroy. There's been so many times, there's a park right over here near my backyard, and every time I walk by and see a father and a child playing, here's the first thing I look for. Is there a phone in his hand? Is he out playing with his kid or pushing the kid in the swing and got a phone in his hand? I'll ask you this. When's the last time you played with your kid? Get it in your head. Think about it. The last time you were with your kids playing, one or two or many, whatever. The last time you're with them playing, think about that day and then think, did you have a phone in your hand? Did you have a phone in the room? There's this reality that the presence of a smart device changes everything about what's happening in the room. It actually makes you hyper aware for any vibrations, any sounds, and you can't actually be fully present with whoever you're with. I mean, think about the last time you had coffee one-on-one with someone, or maybe a date with your wife, and you got your Apple Watch on, and you can't give full attention because it's being divided by devices. Is your attention being divided by devices? Clearly, I mean, you're watching this right now. It probably is, but I hope when you're watching this, you're not trying to be playing with your kids, right? Social media is fine. It's actually a helpful tool if we use it correctly. But the problem is when the developers know human psychology so well that we become a victim of the attention economy. Literally everything about today's world is all about attention. How much attention can we get from people and how long can we retain that attention? It's interesting how studies have gone on about attention span in American adults have gone down over the years, and yet they're still clamoring for attention. Just little sound bites of attention, 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 attention. And you know who else is competing for that attention? And who else doesn't have all the algorithms and the data and the science-backed techniques to grab your attention? Kids. Our kids don't have all those tools. Our kids don't have all that science to grab our attention. And so we have to make a conscious choice to give them our full attention when it's time. You see, in my course, I teach this thing called the time well spent method, and it teaches you how to spend 5-minute windows 3 times a day really well with your kids. Full attention, no phone, no device, nothing in the room, and you give your full attention to that child for 5 minutes. It is amazing what happens and what changes in your life and your kids' life and the connection between you when you choose to give full attention. But we have all these expectations in the outside world, like things like post it or it didn't happen. I see people posting stuff online all the time on social media, and some of it's fun and harmless and no big deal, but like, do you have to share every moment of your life and your kids' life with the world? What happens to the small, normal, mundane moments of our lives with our kids if we don't share it with the outside world? Like, don't fall victim to this post or it didn't happen mindset. Just choose to remove the smartphone from the situation and allow yourself to be fully immersed in your kids' world. You see, living up to someone else's expectations for you is going to rob you of experiences, memories, and connections with your own kids. Now, don't hear me saying like throw your smartphone in the trash or use a device. That's not what I'm saying. But there are windows in your day that you can intentionally block out your smartphone device and get it out of the room, even. Like plug it in upstairs in the master bath and leave it there for the evening so that you can be fully present with your kids at dinner and at bedtime. Is that possible? It's so surprising how easily that can become a part of your routine, to just have it with you at all times, laying next to kids as they're going to sleep, or when they're getting ready in the morning, or right when they get home from school. It's just like this fifth wheel is sitting in our lives, these devices. And then when our kids get old enough to have devices, our oldest got a phone about a year ago, and I've already noticed a stark change in his ability to pay attention in conversation, unless the phone isn't around. If the phone isn't in the room, if the phone isn't in the picture, he's a different human being. Same with me. I'm willing to bet the same is true with you. So think about the last time you played with your kids and the phone wasn't even around. Has it happened? I mean, my mind went right away to like when we go over to the ball diamond right in the backyard here, and it's before supper time. And I'm like, well, I got to have my phone with me in case my wife texts and says that supper's ready, or in case, something else pops up and I need to be aware of it. Like, what is more important in the world than you being with your kids in those short, fleeting moments? Not much. And even if there is an important thing that comes up, about 99% of those important things can wait for the 15, 20 minutes that your kids need you for or want you for. I've had several of my clients experience this where they're like, I say no to my kids because I don't have time or whatever. And then I challenge them. I say, just say yes and see how long they need you for. Just say yes and start a timer and kind of figure out. A lot of them, especially young boys, they really only need like these short, potent bursts of time with you. And it's an opportunity for you to say, can I fully invest my attention? Not divided attention, but can I fully invest all of my attention into my child for this short window of time? And I'm telling you, when we do these things, when we choose to be fully present and give full attention, this starts to build a stronger connection, secure attachment, trust in the relationship, and a bridge. I talk about this all the time, but in case you haven't heard it, talking about a bridge is the analogy for a relationship. Do you want a Golden Gate style bridge with your kids by the time they're teenagers, or by the time they leave and launch into the world? And I think you're able to start analyzing those connections and understand, like, what kind of bridge do I have? These potent connections 3 times a day with your kids can become a predictable, consistent pattern in your kid's life to say, I may be carrying something and I need to bring it to mom and dad. Guess what? I know that they're going to be there and ready to listen in these windows throughout the day. Obviously, things come up and we're able to break and be interruptible if other things, they need to bring them to us. But when our kids are carrying that, they're laying in bed at the end of the day and their body's calming and their mind is calming and they have these questions, are we there and available to process life with them? 5 minutes, 7 minutes, not that long. Netflix can wait. The dishes can wait. Your kids shouldn't have to wait to find time to connect with you with your full attention. So may I empower you today that tonight, after listening to this, set your phone aside for just even 20 minutes. Leave it alone, turn it on airplane mode, and just set it aside and be fully present with each and every one of your kids for a small little window of time. And watch what happens when they realize that you don't have a device distracting you, that your attention is not divided, but that they have your full attention. See, here's the thing. Our kids are not the center of our world, okay? And I'm not advocating for that. They should not be the center of our world, but they should feel safe in the world that we're building for them. In this world we're calling their home, they ought to understand that there's a safe place for them to dream, fail, learn, and grow. So go ahead and do that tonight and post in the comments to let me know how that goes when you set aside that 20 minutes, that 15 minutes, whatever it takes. If it needs to just be 2 minutes at the beginning, I guess that's fine, but man up and show up for your kids tonight. Shut off your phone, be with them for a potent connection tonight, and build a memory that can last for years, because those moments become memories and you can look back with pride and clarity and confidence, knowing that you have been intentional in building the relationship that your kids deserve, that you deserve to have with your kids, and that will best equip them for becoming healthy, confident, interdependent adults. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.